Yeah, read that.
Moreover, King Antiochus
Antiochus.
wrote to his whole Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people,
That all should be one people. Come on.
and everyone should leave his laws.
Right.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Right. So right
Many
here,
also of the Israel.
you can stop right there. You can stop right there. So basically, right here you can see where the Greeks basically did the same thing that Nimrod did. They were trying to form and mold the world into a one world order back then. So these people that are ruling today, they're no different from those times. Their whole purpose is to govern the whole world in their wickedness, okay? To destroy the Most High's laws. All right. This is who the Hamashiach was speaking of when he said the abomination of desolation is these people, and you can see why right here. They wanted to make the whole earth one world order, right here. They wanted one people, and that's what the world is going to today. So the ways of the world and the people are not the Most High's ways, but basically the ways of these people. They worship other gods. They want to put away the Most High's laws and bring another gospel, which is what they call it. They call it pantheist. Pan meaning all and theos mean God. Okay, pantheist. Go to 2 Corinthians 11:4. So that's the ways of the world. That's where the Catholic doctrine comes in at. 2 Corinthians 11:4.
Corinthians chapter 11 verse 12.
11 verse 4.
Verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, Slakin. For if he that cometh preacheth another Hamashiach Yahushua,
Right.
whom we have not preached,
Whom we have not preached. Go ahead.
Or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel,
That's. Go ahead.
which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Ye might well bear with him, and that's what the whole world's doing now. They're bearing with this false doctrine, saying Jesus, which is another God, Jesus, in the Latin and in the Greek, that's not even Hamashiach's name. That ain't even his name. How we calling him Jesus? Think about it. We can't even get our people to say Hamashiach Yahushua. That's why we're going to stop saying that name altogether, Jesus. When I'm out there in the camp, I'm not saying Jesus no more, man. I'm saying Hamashiach Yahushua. Because what we're doing is pushing that vibration of a false God whenever we go out there and we say Jesus. You know, we're Hebrews, man. When we go out there, we need to tell these people, hey, we're Hebrew Israelites. We're going to tell you the true name of Hamashiach Yahushua. There's power in that name, you know. You say that name and it changes the whole area, man. You say Hamashiach Yahushua, that's power. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta start saying that name. Gotta start pushing that. Don't be afraid to say that name. There's power in that name. You know? Hamashiach Yahushua. Even the name Yahweh. That's our God. That's our power. You know? Don't be afraid to use that name. You know, show the Most High that you love him. You know? That's what we have to start pushing. You know, you can't say God. That's very vague when you say God. That's like a plural thing, you know? You can't say Lord, you know, that's like another God right there. You know, in Egypt, that was another God. Babylon, that was another God, by Al-Barith. You know, we got to start saying the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahushua. Okay, when you say Ahaya Yeshaya, that's Isaiah's name. Yeshaya, that's not Hamashiach Yahushua's name. That's Isaiah. That's how you say the prophet named Isaiah, Yeshaya. He don't have no power. Isaiah don't have no power. All his power coming in Hamashiach Yahushua. So we got to start saying that name. Okay. Where was we at? Maccabees. So basically we gotta change our ways, man. You know, it's one thing keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, but it's another thing pushing that name as well. You know, I mean, for that name to come out in these last days, you gotta remember we never really had that name for like 400 years or more. Now we got the name and we don't want to say it. We scared to say it. You know, we gotta start saying that name, man. It has power to it. Okay, we're saying it in the right form. Okay, hold me Revelation 18:2 out. So, you know, I brought out that word pantheist because this is another gospel that's going out these days. Okay, Jesus and, you know, Christianity, they're pushing a whole nother doctrine. They talking about what's that? The money doctrine, the prosperity doctrine. You know, they're not really talking about helping our people with that prosperity doctrine. It's all individualism. You know, we Israelites meaning all. It says we are a prince of power. Okay, we're a prince of the Most High. Princes of the Most High. Pantheists, you know, it says here, belief that the Most High, it says belief that God and the universe are identical. It was created in 1705, coined by Dr. Diaz John Toland, in the year of 1670 and 1722. It says, like I said, pan meaning all, theos meaning God. Toland's word was borrowed into French, so it went from there. It went from wherever he was to the French doctrine, to the French language, from Latin to French, which from it formed pantheism, which was in 1712, which returned to English, and pantheism, the doctrine that all is God, in 1732. So that's what pantheism is. It means all God, you know. So now the New World Order is trying to basically unify all gods of other nations as one, which is corrupt. You know, when you put the Most High to the side, that's corrupt. And that's what these gods, that's what all these people are doing. The so-called Pope, the Dalai Lama, you know, they're putting all these gods together, which is basically Greek mythology all over again. That's all it is. Greek mythology. You see Greek mythology, they got many, many, many gods. Just like in the Indian culture, they got many gods. Okay? But we have one God. You know, we have one power. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read that, Revelation 18:2, huh?
Revelations chapter 18.
Go ahead.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils.
Right, habitation of devils. That's what this place is, man. Everywhere, and devils is breakdown for deceivers. Everywhere we look, we're dealing with deceivers. Idolatry, man. Don't nobody really care about the scriptures. You talk to most people, they get off work, they go home, they watch TV. They don't get into the word. That's idolatry in itself. You know, it says idolatry is the beginning of witchcraft. You know, witchcraft is idolatry. So I mean, you start doing all these other things. You know, listening to music. When you listen to music, a lot of times that music take you back to the old man. You know, you hear a tune, even if it's just a tune, it take you back to what you was doing. It's nostalgia. You know, you remember everything you was doing during that time period. If you was doing wickedness during that time period, that song would take you back to that. And that's getting back into the flesh. That's why it says change your whole way of thinking, man. The music industry, they knew what they was doing. It's like during Christmas. That's why they play the same songs over and over during the holidays. You know, it's like hearing bells. Bells represent demons. When every time you hear a bell, ding, that's demons coming to get you. You know, like what was the name of that movie? Christmas on 34th Street. At the end, it showed a little girl. She was happy that her daddy came back, and they heard a bell, and they said, "Oh, that's when an angel gets his wings." That's not in the scriptures. That's bringing forth demons. Okay? You look at all universities around the globe, they have giant bells on their campuses. At 12 o'clock, them things be sounding off, bringing in them demons. Okay? Think about it. The Bohemian Grove, when they do their chants, they use bells. Okay? We have to be very careful of our surroundings, man. There's so much that's going on that, you don't take it into consideration what's really going on. That's why the Most High said you got to walk in the Spirit. You got to walk with the whole armor of the Most High. You can easily get caught off guard, very easily. You know what I mean? Give me Corinthians 10 and 20, because this is the habitation of devils, man. That's why he said come out of her. 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. Our people, man. Our people.
Corinthians.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chapter 10, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
Right, they sacrifice to what?
To devils.
They sacrifice to devils. All these Gentiles sacrificing the devils. Man. Christianity, they sacrificing the devils. All right. When they send their offering around every month, where is that offering going? Where's that tithings going? When you go to these churches and you spend money, where's that money actually? Where's it really going? Is it going to the Christmas fund? Is it going to the Thanksgiving fund? Think about it. People putting their money in them baskets, not knowing where it's going. Going to the pagan holidays. They praying for the wrong things, man. Think about it in them churches, man. They're not praying for Hamashiach Yahushua to come back on the earth. How many times you been in the church and they ask, when do they ever pray that Hamashiach rush back on the earth? Because they're upset at their conditions. They don't pray for that. They pray, how can I get something out of you? They want something out of the Hamashiach. They want to either be healed or they want money, but they don't want Hamashiach to come back. Let me show you what the Most High said. Hold that verse. Give me Sirach 18:23. Let me show you how we supposed to really pray. Let me ask Ecclesiasticus 18:23. See, our people don't read the scriptures, man. The scriptures is point blank. It's to the point. Okay. When you get it, go ahead and start reading.
Sirach, chapter 18, verse 23. Before thou prayest, prepare thyself, and be not as one that tempteth the Most High.
Right, don't tempt the Most High saying, give me this and I'll be your friend forever. You can't do that to the Most High. Let me win the lottery just this once, Most High. I promise you, I give tithes, I give 10% to every church in the whole United States. That's how people be doing. That's how they get down. Don't tempt the Most High like that. Come on.
Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance, when he shall turn away his face.
Right. Come on.
When thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger, and when thou art rich, think upon poverty and need.
Right. How many people do that when they're rich? How many times do they think about poverty and need? Man, they're thinking about the next thing they need to do. They're thinking about the next trip they're going to take. They're thinking about the next car or whatever they're going to buy. They're not thinking about the poverty when they was poor. Okay? They're not thinking about Hamashiach coming back on the earth, the wrath that's coming.
Has arrived.
They're not thinking about that. Read verse 26 out.
Verse 26. From the morning until the evening, the time is changed, and all things are soon done before the Most High.
Uh-huh.
A wise man will fear in everything.
A wise man will fear in everything. That's why he says, put on the whole armor. You're going to fear in music. You're going to fear in the people that you talk to if they're going to lead you away from the truth. That's why he said you got to have your whole guard up, man. You're going to fear in the things that you watch on TV. You're going to guard your eyes. If you trying to find a wife and you dating, or you're trying to find a husband, you got to guard yourself on that. They're going to pull you away from the truth. You got to guard yourself, man. Come on.
A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense. But a fool will not observe time.
A fool will not observe time. Most High calls them fools. When they don't want to observe time, what's going on? He calls them fools. Come on.
Every man of understanding knoweth wisdom, and will give praise unto him that found her.
Come on.
They that were of understanding in sayings became also wise themselves, and poured forth
exquisite
parables, go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
Right, and that appetite is not only of your stomach, foods that you like to eat, but also what your eyes see. Okay, your eyes see things and the lust after it. He says, refrain yourself from that. Turn away. You could learn to control yourself like that. You know? Come on.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that
malign thee. Right, so that's what he's talking about, to change your ways. How you going to become an Israelite, change your ways, and then fall back into the world? How you think people are going to look at you? Because you're feeding the flock whether you know it or not. Just based on your actions, you're feeding the flock. They see that you gave up this, you gave up that. They see a change in you. You actually helping them. You make them feel guilty. You make them want to make a change. But when you fall back into the world, guess what you do to them? You weaken them. They don't think nothing wrong. Oh, he was never serious about that word. That's why you got to endure this truth. Come on. Take
not pleasure in much good cheer. Neither be tied to the expense thereof. Be not made a beggar by equity upon borrowing when thou hast nothing in thy purse.
Right, so the Most High telling you
thou shalt lie and wait for thine own life and be talked on.
Right, that's what them check cashing places are good for. A lot of our people are caught in that trap. That's a trap. Paying Peter to pay Paul. You go from one place to the next. That's a trap for a lot of Israelites. That's why they put those in Israelite communities. You don't see them in Edomite communities. They don't need those. But in Israelite communities, we're already in a trap. Okay. And Esau's crafty, man. He knows what he's doing, and he makes his money off of interest with us. And we don't care how much the interest is, we'll pay it and stay broke and be even broker. So the scriptures tells you how to reform your whole body, man, how to reform your whole mind. But he says, before thou prayest, prepare thyself. You know what I mean? Prepare thyself and think upon the wrath that's coming on this earth. That's why you got to pray for Hamashiach to return. You got to pray for that. Okay, go back to 1 Corinthians 10 and read verse 20 again.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Yahweh. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
Right, so he telling you don't even have fellowship with devils. I'm going to give you an example. Go to verse 28.
Verse 28. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols.
Stop. So he says, but if any man say unto you, this is offered in Christmas, or this is offered in Thanksgiving, or this is offered in Halloween, come on.
Eat not for that showed it.
Right.
And for conscience sake.
And for conscience sake.
Is the Most High's and the fullness thereof.
Right. So he's saying for conscience sake. So what is he saying? When you partake in the Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween, when your conscience becomes seared with theirs, when they say, hey, Merry Christmas, what do you say back to them? Hey, Merry Christmas back to you. Your conscience just connected with their conscience. Now you worshiping false idols. You see how crafty that is? See how crafty that is? How Esau set the whole thing up? So, I mean, it's a system that he's already set in place. To get a system, you have to work at it. Then once it starts to run, it's on autopilot. So he already got it embedded into our people. So when those holidays come around, hey, Merry Christmas, hey, Happy New Year's, you got the music playing, you fall right into that old way. You know, you fall right out of grace, just that quick. You know what I mean? When your conscience becomes their conscience, it's just like doing anything else, watching porn or hanging out with somebody who's smoking, or wanting to do a lick, rob somebody. Once your conscience becomes the same as theirs, then you're on that same page. You ain't no better than them. That's what he's talking about. This is a serious thing. That's why a lot of people can't come into the truth, because changing your life is hard. For a lot of people, it's hard. But for those who willingly want to do it, it's easy. You just cut it off. But see, explaining it to your family, man. We had one brother that came into the truth. Give you an example. One brother, his name was Billy. He came into the truth, right? And good brother. He was a good brother. He called me up one day and he said, Brother Juan, he said, man, I just can't do it, man. I guess he was living with his mother and his father, and they were just overbearingly on him. And he said, man, I just don't have the faith, man. He said, I just can't do this no more. I don't have the faith. And he fell out just that quick. He came in like a lightning bolt, and then he fell out because he didn't have the faith. That's why faith is everything. That's the treasure that the Most High, that's what he's looking for. A few good men and a few good women. You know what I'm saying? For conscience sake, you got to be strong enough to say no. And that goes for all of us. Don't think any of us are exempt on this, including myself. We're not exempt on this, because we all got family members and they all try to pull us in. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's best to let them know up front, hey, I don't do that no more. That's the best way for me to do it. I just tell them I don't do that no more. Read on out.
That's it.
29.
Verse 29, conscience, I say, not thine own, but of the other.
But of the other, see?
For why?
Go ahead.
For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience?
That's a question. Why is my liberty judged on another man's conscience? Because if you link on with him, then you're judged. You're misleading the flock. Come on.
Or if I by grace be a partaker.
Stop. That's what Christians say, right? I'm saved by grace. I'm gonna get out of this because I'm saved by grace. I'm gonna partake in this, but by grace I'm saved. That's what they say. Go ahead.
For if by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that for which I give thanks?
Right, that's what the Christians say. I still give thanks. I'm saved by grace. Ain't that what they say? Come on.
Whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do all to the glory of Yahweh.
Right, you do all to the glory of the Most High. Now I'm going to give you a real example. We're going to go to the Hamashiach. We're going to see how he dealt with this. Okay? Let's see how the Most High dealt with this. Go to Mark 2, chapter 2, verse 13. Let's see how he dealt with this.
4:13?
Yeah. And read to verse 17. As Christians use that, they use that to the utmost. I know it's pork, but I'm saved by grace. Okay? Catfish, I know it's a bottom dweller. Look how bad, one of the brothers was telling me, you look at the Pacific Ocean, you wonder why it's so ugly looking, so dingy and dark, because all the bottom feeders are taken out of it. That's why the oceans are polluted. You take something out of the ecosystem, it destroys the rest of it. You take crabs out, shrimp out, seahorses out, you take all those delicacies to people out of the ocean, then the ocean becomes a dump. It becomes a dump. That's why you can't see at the bottom of the ocean. Okay? Or at the top of the ocean. Alright, I'll go ahead.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 13. And he went forth again by the seaside, and all the multitude resorted unto him, and he taught them. And as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the receipt of custom,
Come on.
and said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him. And it came to pass that as Yahushua sat at meat in his house, many publicans and sinners sat also together with Hamashiach and his disciples.
So it says publicans also came, also prostitutes was there. So you had publicans and prostitutes, all these sinners sitting together with Hamashiach Yahushua, just like we just read in Corinthians. Come on.
For there were many, and they followed him. And when the scribes and Pharisees saw him eat with publicans and sinners, they said unto his disciples, How is it that the eateth and drinketh?
Hold on, I'll read that again. Read that from how again. Start over.
How is it that he eateth and drinketh with publicans and sinners?
Right, with publicans, just put a re in front of the publicans, it's the same thing. You got republicans. Just like we got republicans here, like the Republic of the United States, or Rome, the Republic. It's the same thing. Republicans. Publicans. Re means to do it again. So these were these were men who collected taxes, publicans. So he was sitting, eating, and drinking with the publicans and the sinners. Okay, so why was he doing that? It's going to explain. Read verse 17.
Verse 17. When Hamashiach Yahushua heard it, he said unto them, They that are whole have no need of the physician, but they that are sick. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
So what was he doing while he was there? He was going to work. While he was in that house, although he was there when they was doing their thing, he was trying to wake them up. He's trying to say, look, y'all need to repent. Y'all need to come out of that madness. That's how Hamashiach dealt with it. He was serious, man. Now you try to go into your family member's house and do that on a Christmas. They gonna think you crazy. You know? They gonna be like, man, I don't know what got into that boy. That's what the elders gonna say. I don't know what's wrong with him. So that's how Hamashiach got down. You know? You would call him crazy in his day. Like, all that dude talk about is the word. I'm tired of hearing the word. Your family members be running from you. They don't want to hear that. Right? Go to Matthew 13 and 56. Let me show you how they acted when he came. His family members. Matthew 13 and 56.
Verse 36.
56.
6.
Start at 54.
And his
Start at 54.
verse 11. Matthew chapter 13, verse 54. And when he was come unto his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished, and said, hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works?
Right. They was kind of baffled. Like, man, how does he know the scriptures? You know, come on.
Is not this the carpenter's son?
Right. Is this Joseph's son? Come on.
Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary?
Right.
And his brethren James and Joses and Simon and Judas?
Right. Now, Hosea, that was the one who didn't follow Hamashiach. The rest of them did. So, yeah, you always got one brother that ain't do it right. So, he had one of them brothers, too. Come on.
And his sisters.
Wait a minute. He had
Are they
sisters,
not
too?
all?
Hamashiach had sisters, too? So, he had sisters and brothers. So, it goes to show you that an angel, because Mary had other children. All right. Joseph also had children prior to that, probably. Come on.
And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things?
All right.
And they were offended in him.
And they were what?
Offended in him.
So when he went to the party, they were what?
Offended in him.
When you go to your family's house for Christmas, Thanksgiving, what they gonna be?
Offended in him.
They gonna be offended of us too. Come on.
But Hamashiach said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house.
Go ahead.
And he did not many works.
Not many. You say that again?
And he did not many, and he did not mighty works there because of their unbelief.
Of their unbelief, because they didn't want to believe. They wanted to continue to celebrate the Christmases, the Thanksgiving. That was unbelief. They didn't want to believe what he was saying was true. But see, when they die, that's when they're going to say, how come I didn't listen to him? How come I didn't follow what he was saying? He's right there in our face. Just like when we go out there on the streets, or when you're on the bus, or when you're in the car talking to someone, trying to wake him up with this truth, they're going to be the same way. You know what I mean? They're going to be the same way. Give me Luke 16, Luke 16 and 19. Luke 16 and 19. Yeah, I had a lesson plan, but this is taking me to another place. This is going off script right here, but that's the spirit. You know what I mean? Read Luke 16 and 19.
Luke chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day.
Right, so this man was rich. He had no worries. Come on.
And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores,
Come on.
and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Right, come on.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
Right, that felt good to the old man, to the poor man. The dogs licking the sores. Come on.
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Come on.
The rich man also died and was buried.
See, just like that, your life can end. 70 years to 100 years is really not nothing to the Most High. Just like that, we'd be in the ground, and a whole another generation will be here.
left the conference.
Another generation will be here, just that quick. That's why it's important that we spread this word. Come on. 23.
23.
Yeah.
And he, so he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
So as soon as this man closed his eyes to blink, as soon as he opened them, he was in a whole different spirit world. He was in another spirit world, another dimension. Come on.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me.
What do you think our family members going to say? What do you think our friends going to say? When they go into that spirit world, they're going to say the same thing. Just like we just read, they had, Yahushua did not many works because of the people's unbelief. Same thing going to happen. Come on.
Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
Right, so it's telling you right there in the book of 2nd Ezra, in the Apocrypha, it says that those who have liberty in this world will die and feel it by pain. They're going to feel it by pain when they go into the spirit world. Come on.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Now this is the same thing that's going to happen with Jacob and Esau. It's going to be reverse roles too. This is another parable for that too. Jacob and Esau are going to switch roles. Come on.
And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from the hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from the thence.
So there's like a giant chasm, like a giant invisible wall that they couldn't pass through. It's like a sea of glass or something. Okay? Go ahead.
Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father,
has arrived,
that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
Right, come on. So he's telling you, hey man, he's talking to Abraham, look, can you just send a prophet to my father's house where my family members are, so a prophet could tell them, look, to repent, to change their ways? That's what he was saying. Same thing. Hamashiach went to that tax collector, to the publican's house. He was trying to get them to change their ways. All right, come on.
For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment.
Right, so he wants his brothers not to come to that place. He's trying to beg for mercy for his brother now, because he know he's lost. He's done. He had his chance. Once you die, that's it. You only get one chance. This is the last kingdom, man. This is the last time, last captivity. Come on.
Abraham saith unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them.
Right. So what?
And he said,
Hold on. So I mean, it says Abraham saith unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. How can they hear Moses and the prophets? All right. How can they hear them? It's talking about these scriptures. These people, Moses is not talking. I mean, he's in the scriptures, but we got to read it, right? Right. We're the angel of the Most High when we go out there. We're the messengers. Okay? Come on.
And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent.
Right. Not as easy said than done. Come on.
And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
And that's what we're dealing with. We got people who don't even believe that Hamashiach rose from the dead. Okay? The Hamashiach, that's the greatest story ever told. Esau, he publicizes that. He put the wrong images in there, the wrong names, but he does publicize that Hamashiach rose from the dead. And people still talk bad about it. They still don't believe. That's why they all gonna die, man. Every one of them. Give me Jeremiah 30:16.
And did live.
Right. So basically, that's what he's doing. He's trying to get the whole world to worship him again, but this time he gonna bamboozle everybody. He gonna put chains on us. I mean, he got chains on us already, invisible chains. I think. Let me see here. I don't know if any of y'all follow. I don't know if any of y'all follow the Roman Catholic doctrine, but back in August 28, 2000, they had an assembly of all the religions in one building, and they do this every 5 years, I believe. Every 5 years they have this, which they are, they all get together and they follow that. Basically, they follow the Antichrist spirit. It's a spirit. Antichrist. When you hear Christians talk about the Antichrist, this is a spirit that's in the earth, okay? There's many antichrists. So the antichrist that we're dealing with right now is the antichrist of the so-called Roman Catholic Church. It's pushing that doctrine all over the world. Give me Exodus 20:3 out.
Has arrived.
Exodus 20:3. Exodus 20:3.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other God, thou shalt not have no other power before me.
Right. That's one of the first commandments right there. Thou shalt not have any other gods. The whole world is following other gods, man. They're not following. That's why they're always ready to fight with you when you're bringing the scriptures out. A lot of times they think it's you speaking, and they think it's your words. But we're always bringing out the Most High's words. And so when people come up, we say, hey, man, we're reading out the Bible. They still refuse to believe that those are the words coming from the scriptures. You know what I mean? There's a, where's that scripture at, man? It's in Psalms, oh man, it's a great verse, man. You know what? Read that again.
Has left the conference.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Right. So like I said, when we speak the Most High's words, it's like we're speaking words of war. Give me Psalms 120:7. Start at verse 6.
Psalms chapter 120, verse 7.
Verse 6. Start at 6.
Verse 6. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace.
Right. We've been dwelling with this damn devil all this time who hate peace. He don't like the Most High's peace. Come on.
I am for peace.
Right. We all are for peace. But when I what? Go ahead.
But when I speak, they are for. But when I speak, they are for war.
Yeah, but when I speak, they are for war. See, we go out there in the likeness of teaching peace, but when we go out there, we speak in war. Just like the scripture says, "I am for peace," but when I speak, they are for war. You know, when we go out there, Israelites are always battling, but we don't go out there with that initiative. We don't go out there for that. We go out there really to teach our people, not to make war. But when we go and we speak the words of peace, it becomes war. You know, we're fighting with people in the flesh. We're spiritual, but the people they come up against they're fleshly, they're carnal. They want to fight. They want to get into debates, you know. But we're telling them, look, this is who we are. You know, that's a struggle with the people of the flesh. That's why in Galatians he talks about the bondman and the freeman. Those two don't mix. That's why one is going to one kingdom and the other is going to die in another kingdom. The flesh is going to die in this kingdom. Okay? So, go to Genesis 41 and 8. Genesis 41 and 8.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof.
Uh-huh.
And Pharaoh told them his dream. But there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
Why? Because these are children of the flesh. How they gonna know what the spirit is saying? You see? These pharaohs, these magicians, these magi's, they're in fleshly, they deal with the flesh, man. They're not dealing with the spirit. Okay? The rulers back then, they dealt with what? They dealt with magicians just like today. It's no different. People, our presidents today still deal with psychics. They still deal with witches. They still deal with magicians. Nothing has changed from those days. Okay? All of these people, whether they Chinese, East Indian, even Israelites, you got Edomites, they all are being set up. Basically, they're being set up for the downfall of this society. They tell you when to eat. They tell you when to sleep. Alright? They tell you to take the H1N1 shot. You know, everything is being set up for the downfall. You got GMOs and everything. Everything you eat got GMO in it. Genetically modified foods. You know what I'm saying? The chickens, I'm still trying to figure out how they got Kentucky Fried Chicken every 5 miles from each other across the whole United States. Where they getting all these chickens from? I can't. I just don't understand. Can anybody tell me where they getting all these chickens from? You got hamburgers, Burger King, McDonald's. Each establishment is only like 5 miles away from each other. Where are they getting all this meat from? Because
China.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, because when I drive down to LA, I'm on the Highway 5, I see all the cows out there. It ain't that many cows to feed this many people. I'm trying to figure that out.
Bringing them in from China. They're bringing them in from China. That's why the bird flu is spreading to the U.S.
Man, that's a good point, man. But it's a lot of people in China too, so I'm trying to figure that one out, man. You know.
I researched that too because I'm real big on the GMOs and I need all that stuff if I can. But
yeah.
Targets and everything.
Yeah, because I know they was trying to do the airspace with the corn because they was trying to use that for gasoline. But by the time the corn grows, it just doesn't add up. You know, they got the space, but the numbers don't add up. You know, so they gonna keep on draining this oil and this petroleum and this water. That's the next big thing. That water. You know, that water is disappearing too fast. You know. Give me Ecclesiasticus 33 and 12. Sirach 33 and 12. I mean, they got GMO everything. They even got GMO marijuana. You know what I'm saying? They got GMO crack, cocaine, GMO everything. Ain't nothing natural no more. You know, brothers be like, oh, it's from the earth. Well, not no more. It's from the lab. You know what I'm saying? Everything's from the lab. You know? Read, you got that out? Sirach 33 and 12?
Sure.
Has left the conference.
Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified.
All right.
And set near himself.
And set where?
Some set near himself.
So some that he sanctified and set near himself. These are the people that believe in him. All right. You got more in there, all right?
But some of them hath he cursed and brought low.
Right, see that?
And turned out of their places.
Right. So who is he talking about right here? Who did he curse and bring low?
Our people.
Our people. We've been cursed and brought low, man, and turned out of our places. You know what I mean? All right. Give me Ecclesiasticus 42 and 24. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 42, verse 24. All things are double, one against another. And he hath made nothing imperfect.
Right, he has made nothing imperfect. So everything he created, he always created one to go against the other. He created a brother to go against another brother. He created a corporation to go up against another corporation. The devil creates weeds. The Most High creates grass. Everything that the Most High creates, Satan has duplicated. Okay? It's in a weaker form with Satan. Alright? The Most High made Israelites. He gave Satan Edomites. Okay? Everything is at a weaker form with Satan. Alright? Alright, give me Proverbs 16 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Most High hath made all things for himself,
Alright?
even the wicked for the day of evil.
Right, so he made all things for himself, even the wicked. Even the wicked was created by the Most High, and that's what a lot of people can't understand. They can't understand why would the Most High create the devil to be wicked. They can't understand that. They can't understand that from the beginning of time. Why would he create Satan to be wicked? That's how the Most High did that because he knew that man would sin. Just like when we go into the new kingdom, don't you know Satan going to try to get released? He's going to get released for another 1,000 years to try to come tempt us? After 1,000 years, actually. After 1,000 years, he's going to get released to try to tempt the children of Israel. But we're going to overcome them. Alright? Give me 2 Timothy 3 and 8. It never stops, do it. 2 Timothy 3 and 8.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Now, as Janus and Jambres
Right.
withstood Moses,
Right, these were the magicians.
So do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith.
Con, read verse 9.
But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men.
So the Most High
as there
always,
also was.
right, so the Most High always set up a righteous man, and then he set up a wicked man to go against him, just like he set up Pharaoh with Moses. Okay? Pharaoh was a wicked man. The Most High set up Moses to overcome him. Always a natural version, and then there's always a generic version that Satan is running. Give me Psalm 75 and 7. And just like you got generic versions in the stores, in the grocery stores, most of us buy it because it's cheap. But there's more health concerns with those cheap generic brands than the authentic brands. Okay? There's always more to worry about when you're eating a generic version. It don't taste the same, or always something ain't right. The sugar ain't enough sugar in it. There's something. Read Psalm 75 and 7.
Psalms chapter 75, verse 7. But Yahweh is the judge.
Right. Overall, the Most High is the judge. Come on.
He putteth down one,
Right.
and setteth up another.
Right. Just like he's setting up the Illuminati, he set up the Israelites the same way. He got a whole bunch of Illuminatis this time, and he got a whole bunch of Israelites this time. It's a whole bunch of us. So he always set up one and set up another. You know, put one down and he set up another. Okay? That's how the Most High get down, man. Go to Psalm 75 and 10 since you're right there.
be exalted.
Right. So the Most High is going to exalt us. He's going to exalt the Israelites in the last days. Okay? Give me Revelation 16 and 14. Well, we'll cut it short. We'll end it with that. Revelation 16 and 14.
Revelations chapter 16, verse 14.
Yeah.
For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth,
Right.
and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty.
Right. That's who we coming up against. The spirit of devils. That's all the Illuminati, man. We going up against them. That's who we fighting against. It's a spiritual battle. It's almost like an invisible battle that we're going up against. Because they already done got everybody's mind. So what are we doing? We're trying to change their minds back. It's an invisible fight. Although we know who the Edomites are and who's doing it, it's still an invisible fight. It's, and that's what we're fighting when we go out and we teach our brothers and sisters. Trying to pull them out of that way of thinking. That's what's making this so unique, man. That's what's making this fight so unique. I mean, you got Barack Obama, you got Zygmunt Brzezinski behind Barack Obama. You got the China officials. All these people, man, that's coming up against us. You know what I mean? And the Most High is just gathering them together, and the kings of the earth don't even understand why. This is where you get the term Armageddon from. This is where that comes from. Okay, this is the mystery Babylon in America. This is a country of democracy that's controlling the whole world, man. So, all together it's coming back to that pantheistic one world order, the new world order, basically. Anybody got any questions on it? What we just went over? Any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Has left the conference.
Anybody got any questions? One more time? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say a prayer, close us out. All right.
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone, and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.